Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast Diffidip. Today we're going to be looking at something that I think a lot of people are curious about, and that is how to build a website without actually needing to know how to code, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be exploring this whole world of no-code website creation, and particularly how artificial intelligence, or AI, as everyone's calling it these days, is really sort of shaking things up and changing what's possible.
Yeah.
And, WordPress, which a lot of people are probably familiar with, is now sort of getting into this game as well, this whole AI-powered website building thing. Oh, and by the way, quick reminder, if you're watching this on YouTube, we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers today. So if you could help us out with that, that would be awesome. You guys are here because you want to get smart on this stuff quickly, without it being like a whole big, huge, overwhelming thing. So we're going to try to really break it down and look at the most important aspects of these AI no-code builders, especially this whole WordPress thing, how it's fitting in, how it's changing, really just trying to get a sense of, what's going on, what's out there. We've been doing a lot of research for this. We've looked at a bunch of articles from places like Unite.ai, Coder.com, WP Beginner, Website Builder Expert, equalcube, even Wikipedia, just to get a broad perspective on things. So yeah, are you ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
All right. So, when we talk about no-code development, what exactly are we talking about here?
Well, the basic idea, right, is that you can actually build software, things like websites and mobile apps and stuff, without actually having to write code in the traditional sense.
Right.
It's all about using these visual interfaces, drag and drop kind of stuff, to put things together.
Makes it a lot easier for people who aren't, programmers.
Right. Exactly. and what's interesting is this isn't actually a brand new concept. If you think back to earlier content management systems, like even early versions of WordPress, right, and those WSI3G HTML editors, what you see is what you get. Things like Adobe Dreamweaver and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those were kind of early steps in this direction, trying to make web design more accessible to people who weren't, coding experts.
Right. So those were kind of like laying the groundwork, but it seems like the whole no-code movement really exploded in the 2010s. That's when it really took off, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you saw this massive increase in the number of dedicated no-code platforms popping up all over the place. And a big part of that, I think, was that there was this growing need for software. Everybody wanted apps, websites, all that stuff.
Right.
But there just weren't enough developers to go around.
Not enough people to actually build it all.
Exactly. And so this whole idea of no code, building things faster, building things cheaper, that became really, really appealing. And the market responded. I mean, we're talking serious investment here, like over 4 billion euros invested in 2021 alone.
Yeah.
So people are clearly putting their money where their mouth is on this, right?
Yeah, it's not just a fad. And now, of course, we've got AI coming into the picture. So how is artificial intelligence changing things even further?
Well, what's really wild is that AI is now being integrated into these no-code platforms.
What?
So, it's making it even faster, even simpler to create website. Like there was this study, I don't know if you saw this, where they found that over half of people couldn't even tell the difference between a website that was built by AI and one that was designed by a human.
Really?
Yeah. So that tells you something about the level of quality we're talking about here.
Wow. That is pretty impressive. Okay, so we've got this really interesting combination of no code and AI happening. So let's talk about some of the specific tools that are out there. What are some of the big names in this space?
Okay, well, if you're looking at the all-in-one platforms, one that really stands out is Wix. They're often considered to have some of the best AI tools available.
Okay.
And what's cool about Wix is that they've got AI support across the board, through the entire website building process. So, you've got an AI builder that uses a chatbot interface to guide you through things. You've got AI-powered text creation. They're using ChatGPT for that. There's an AI theme assistant to help you with the design.
Nice.
They even have this thing called the AI Business Launcher to get your whole online presence going. And what's really interesting about Wix is that they're not just slapping AI on as an afterthought.
Yeah.
It's really integrated into the whole platform, from the very beginning, from when you're first started to think about your website, all the way through to, actually managing and optimizing it.
So it's like a really comprehensive approach to using AI. What other AI features does Wix offer?
Oh, they've got a ton of them. Like they've got AI tools to create portfolios. They can generate specific sections for your website based on what you need. You can create and edit images right there in the platform. They
Wow.
even have an AI-powered SEO assistant to help you with search engine optimization.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. And what's really cool is that they offer all of these AI features on all of their plans. So, it doesn't matter if you're a small business just starting out or a bigger company, you get access to all the AI stuff.
So that levels the playing field a bit, which is nice. Okay, so what about some other big names? I know Hostinger, they're a pretty major hosting provider, right? Do they have anything going on in the AI space?
Yeah, absolutely. Hostinger is another really strong contender in this whole AI website building world.
Okay.
And they're known for having a really intuitive and fast AI setup process. So, you don't have to be a tech wizard to figure it out.
Sure.
They've got their own AI website builder, of course, but then they've also got a bunch of other AI-powered tools. So, you've got AI for SEO, for search engine optimization. You've got AI that can actually generate product descriptions for you, which is pretty wild.
Really?
Yeah. They've got AI that can create heat maps so you can see how people are interacting with your website.
Oh, interesting.
There's an AI writing assistant, and then they've got their own AI assistant. They call it Cody. And they really emphasize the speed of their AI. They say you can create a website in minutes.
Minutes.
Yeah, so they're really all about efficiency.
That's impressive. All right, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about WordPress. Now, we mentioned earlier that it's sort of a newer player in this whole AI no-code scene. So how is WordPress adapting to all of this?
Well, WordPress itself isn't like a pure no-code platform in the way that, some of these others are. But what's happening is that you're seeing more and more AI-powered builders and plugins that are specifically designed to work within WordPress.
Okay.
So it's kind of like they're building this AI layer on top of WordPress. And a great example of this is DVAI.
Right.
They're known for being really strong in AI image and content generation.
Okay.
So they have features like one-click AI content creation. You just hit a button and the AI generates content for you.
Wow.
They've got AI image generation and refinement, so the AI can actually create images for you and then tweak them based on your preferences. And they can generate text that's specifically tailored to the different sections of your website, which is really cool.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And you can even set things like your preferred fonts and color schemes before the AI starts designing, so it's already working with your brand in mind.
So it's kind of like giving the AI a bit of direction, a starting point.
Right, exactly.
So Divi AI, it's not like a standalone platform. It's specifically designed to work within WordPress.
That's right. And there are a bunch of other AI website builder plugins for WordPress that work in a similar way. Another one that's really popular is SeedProd.
Okay.
They're often considered one of the best overall AI WordPress builders out there.
Right.
And they're also known for being super fast. Like they can create entire websites or landing pages incredibly quickly. We're talking like 10 to 40 seconds in some cases.
That's crazy fast.
Yeah. And they've also got AI tools for content creation and image enhancement.
Nice.
So, you get a lot of functionality packed into that one.
That's impressive. Are there any quirks or things to be aware of when you're using these AI builders within WordPress?
Yeah, well, with SeedProd, for example, the way it works is that the AI generates the website design for you, but then you have to export that design and import it into your WordPress site using their plugin. So it's an extra step compared to some of the all-in-one platforms where everything kind of happens within the same environment.
Right, right. So what are some other AI-powered tools that are specifically made for WordPress?
Well, Bluehost, the big hosting company, they have their own AI site creator.
Okay.
And they market this as being a really good option for beginners.
Right.
Because it basically bundles hosting and an AI site builder together in a really seamless way.
So it's like a one-stop shop?
Pretty much.
Right.
And the way it works is that you give the AI a simple prompt. You tell a little bit about what you want your website to be about.
Okay.
And then it generates 3 different design options for you to choose from.
So you've got some choices right off the bat.
Exactly. And then there's 10Web,
Right.
which offers an AI website builder that's actually integrated with Google Cloud Hosting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the cool things about 10Web is that not only can it generate a website for you, but it can also show you the planned site structure during the generation process. So you can actually see how it's laying things out, and you can make changes if you want to before the website's actually built.
So you can tweak it as it's going.
Right. And they also have this really unique feature where they can actually convert existing websites into WordPress sites using AI.
Really?
Yeah. And they use a white-labeled version of Elementor's AI tools. And this white labeling is especially important for agencies because it means they can offer the builder to their clients under their own brand.
Oh, I see. So it's like a branding thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so what else is out there in terms of WordPress AI tools?
Well, there's Brizzy AI, which is another really versatile AI website builder.
Yeah.
And they're often favored by agencies and SaaS providers because they really emphasize efficiency and flexibility.
Okay.
And they do this through their white label solution. So again, it's about branding, making it look like it's your own tool.
Right.
And they're really focused on rapid, no-code deployment. So getting your website up and running quickly. And they've got a drag and drop interface, so it's pretty easy to use. Now, if you're looking for something that's free, ZipWP is a great option.
Right.
They're often considered one of the best free AI website builders out there for WordPress. And they have this really helpful startup video that kind of walks you through the process. And they let you upload your own images before the AI starts creating the site, which is nice.
So you can kind of give it some of your own visual style.
Exactly. And it generates multiple website options for you. And you could even tell it specific features that you want to include.
Oh, yeah.
But similar to SeedProd, you do have to export the design and then import it into your WordPress site.
Okay, so another extra step there.
Right.
So it sounds like there are a lot of different options for people who are maybe a little bit intimidated by the idea of building a website from scratch.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, there's definitely something out there for everyone.
That's good to know. So what about Elementor? I know that's a really popular theme builder and page builder for WordPress. Do they have anything going on with AI?
Oh, yeah, they do. They've got their own suite of AI-powered tools called Elementor AI.
Okay.
And these are like pro-level AI features. So you've got AI for generating text content, creating and enhancing images, generating website layouts, even generating CSS code, which is pretty wild.
Wow.
And their layout generator is really smart because it actually takes into account the existing design of your website when it's creating new sections.
So it's not just throwing random stuff in there. It's actually thinking about the overall aesthetic.
Right.
That's really impressive. So it sounds like Elementor is really taking AI seriously and using it to enhance what they're already doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally, there's Kubio AI,
Yeah.
which is marketed as being a really beginner-friendly AI WordPress editor.
Okay.
And they've designed their interface to be very similar to the default WordPress block editor.
Okay.
So if you're already familiar with WordPress, it's a pretty easy transition.
That makes sense.
And they've got flexible options for generating different sections of your website. And they've got their own AI-powered content and image generators as well.
Nice. So it sounds like WordPress is really stepping up its game when it comes to AI and becoming a more accessible no-code solution.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because you've got all these dedicated no-code platforms out there.
Right.
But then you've got WordPress, which historically wasn't really seen as a purely no-code solution.
Yeah.
But now, with all these AI-powered builders and plugins, it's becoming more and more like one. And even just the day-to-day management of a WordPress site, a lot of that can be done without ever having to write any code,
Right.
which is, one of the big reasons why it's still so popular. So it's like this really interesting convergence happening where WordPress is sort of evolving and adapting to this whole no-code trend. And I think it's really democratizing, the ability to create and manage sophisticated websites.
Yeah, that's a good point. So it sounds like the flexibility of WordPress combined with all these AI tools gives it a pretty big advantage.
Absolutely. With WordPress, you can really customize your site and add pretty much any functionality you want, thanks to all the plugins that are available. And that's something that you don't always get with some of the all-in-one AI website builders.
Right.
Some of those can be a little bit more restrictive in terms of pricing and features and stuff. And, Hostinger, for example, they have their own AI website builder.
Right.
But it's generally seen as being a bit simpler, not as many advanced features as you would get with a WordPress site that's enhanced with AI tools.
So it's really about trade-offs, like what's most important to you in terms of ease of use versus flexibility and control.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of different tools and platforms, but in general, what are some of the benefits of using AI no-code website builders, regardless of which specific one you choose?
Well, I think one of the biggest benefits is just the speed.
Yeah.
You can create a website so much faster now than you could even a few years ago. And that means you can get your business online, you can start reaching your customers more quickly, which is huge. And like we were saying earlier, some platforms even claim that you can create a website in under a minute.
That's pretty wild. What other benefits are there?
Well, they tend to be more affordable than traditional web development or hiring a designer,
Okay.
especially when you consider that a lot of these platforms have all-inclusive subscription models. And the design process is just so much simpler now. You don't have to have any technical skills to create a professional looking website.
Yeah.
And you can easily make changes and updates to your website without having to call in a developer every time you want to tweak something.
Right. That's a big one.
Yeah. And, these platforms are constantly being updated with new AI features and capabilities.
So it's not like you're buying into something that's going to be outdated in a year.
Exactly. And a lot of them have built-in features for things like SEO, mobile responsiveness, even e-commerce, which is really convenient.
Yeah. Those are all really important things to have. So what are some things that our listeners should keep in mind if they're thinking about using an AI no-code website builder?
Well, even though these tools make things really easy and fast, it's still important to think about how much customization you need and what specific features you're looking for.
Okay.
So if you have a really unique vision for your website or you need some really complex functionality, it might still be a good idea to work with a professional web developer.
So AI is not a magic bullet. It's not going to solve every problem.
Right, exactly. And it's also a good idea to look at the designs that the AI generates and really evaluate the quality.
Okay.
Try generating a few different versions and see if they're consistent, see if they really match your brand identity. And also keep in mind that some website builders can add a lot of extra code to your website, which can slow things down.
Oh, interesting. So performance is something to consider.
Yeah, definitely. And that's actually one area where WordPress, when used with well-optimized AI plugins, can be a really good option.
Right.
Because you have more control over the code and you can make sure that things are running smoothly. So if you're someone who really wants a lot of control and flexibility, you might consider using WordPress with an AI page builder and maybe even an AI coding assistant. There are some great ones out there.
All right. So it sounds like the key is really finding the right balance between speed and ease of use on the one hand and customization and performance on the other.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about finding the right tool for the job.
So let's bring it all together. What's the main takeaway from this whole deep dive into AI and no-code website building?
I think the big takeaway is that AI is really transforming the way we build websites.
Yeah.
It's making it so much easier and faster for people to create an online presence, whether you're a business or an individual. And WordPress is becoming a major player in this space.
Right.
Thanks to all these great AI tools and plugins. So it's a really exciting time to be building websites.
It sounds like it. So what's your advice to our listeners who are thinking about building a website?
I would say just go for it.
Try out some of these different AI website builders. A lot of them have free trials or free plans, so you can experiment without any risk and just see what works best for you. What feels most comfortable, what gives you the features and the look and feel that you're going for.
That's great advice. So as AI keeps getting more and more advanced, I think it raises a really interesting question. Like, how do you see the role of human creativity and expertise evolving in this whole web design space?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I don't think anyone has a definitive answer yet, but it's something we all need to be thinking about. As AI gets better at designing websites, what does that mean for human designers? Do we become obsolete? Or do we find new ways to work with AI, to collaborate with it, to leverage its strengths while still bringing our own unique human perspectives and creativity to the table? I think it's going to be really fascinating to see how this all plays out in the coming years. Yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. All right, well, that was a really great conversation. Thanks so much for sharing your expertise with us today. And to our listeners, I hope this deep dive has given you a better understanding of the exciting world of AI no-code website building and how WordPress is fitting into all of this. We'd love for you to subscribe to Le Podcast of Philippe for more deep dives into the world of technology and beyond. And hey, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and your support would mean a lot. Thanks so much for listening.